little ways we practice forgetting in our daily life is when we say things like, oh, I put that out of my mind, or I'm not gonna think about that, or little ways of not confronting, where we're giving ourselves permission, we're giving our minds permission to forget things simply because we don't like how it feels at the time or how it feels at the moment, or even because feeling it might be inconvenient for us. But forgetting doesn't have boundaries, and when you give yourself permission to forget in one area because remembering is like annoying or it just seems like so trite, it bleeds into other areas until it just happens naturally that when certain things feel a certain way, your body, your mind, your soul automatically says, well, let's forget this. Let's just not keep this. That's why a lot of women today can't remember what happened to them, because over time they just trained their brain that when certain traumas hit, when certain people speak, when certain experiences occur, when certain thoughts come to mind, when certain things happen to me, I just won't remember that, or I won't dwell on that, or I won't think about that. The thing you want is for your journal to read like a storybook in which there's just nothing but consistently happy endings. We're not writing because our lives are a fairy tale, and yet you will find your journal reads like a fairy tale. You weren't aware and awake and practicing memory at the times when you needed to be aware and awake and remembering. You instead chose to practice selective forgetting. And the problem with selective forgetting is that selective forgetting doesn't have any, it can't be tamed. It doesn't have any boundaries. It doesn't have any sense of respect or reverence for the things that remain in our brains and stay in our pools of reflection, and the things that we really can let go, or when we can let something go, because some things we need to hold on to until we write their biography. Forgetting is embedded even in the fibers of our society, from the length of commercials to to trends. Trends come in and out and in and out. There's no time to remember. Very few things come and sit for a while and have long, lengthy dialogues. Everything is quick, it's short, it's to the point, it comes in and out and come and go, and everything is so frustrating. And we're not so subliminally taught that if we want to stay relevant in our culture, if we want to continuously be of any value to our society, then we don't have time to practice remembering. So between training ourselves to just not remember things and a culture telling us that we have bigger things to keep up with, such that remembering is not important, there's this perfect chemical makeup to practice forgetting as a means of survival in our world. If you give yourself permission to forget in one area, it will bleed over to other areas. And I've said it, I'm repeating myself, because our society, our culture doesn't want you to remember how you got here. Good memories, or who practice remembering, have a different relationship with time. They have a different relationship with power structures. They have a different relationship with sociocultural norms. They pause and ask questions, and they think about who they're going to be in 10 years before they dive in and they make a decision. They take out their journals and they read, make sure they're not repeating history. They treat their own lives, their written lives, like they are history books, and they study what they've seen and what they've done, what they've said, and who said what to them, what they've learned, and who taught them, or how they learned those lessons. And all of these things come into play in the back of their mind when anything happens around them that asks them to act first and think later, or when anything encourages them to forget for sake of self-preservation, instead of seeing remembering as the essence of preserving themselves to make better decisions, to be able to build hospitable dreams and tell stories that are going to encourage future generations to continue to thrive, to build their own dreams based on their own memories of the people that came before them. We can't remember anything, then what does the next generation have to go on? What does the next generation have to reach for and hold on to and chew on and live in if we practice forgetting? Try to keep things. Try to hold on to things for a few seconds longer than everyone else. Try to grasp onto words and others' actions and feelings for a little bit, at least, to write down what you're feeling, to write down what that brush with that emotion or what that brush with that event or what going through that felt like, looked like. Sit with things a little longer than everyone else. Look at something in the eye for a lengthier period of time than everyone else. Ask questions and wait. These are ways we can practice remembering, but the biggest thing is not training ourselves to be uncomfortable with feeling and thinking certain things or processing certain things, and allowing our mind to lead certain thoughts and ideas straight to the exit door in our brain instead of letting them have a seat and have a discussion. Let yourself say something like, I just want to forget this day, or I just want to forget that all of this ever happened, or I don't want to, even if you don't mean it, don't let those things come out of your mouth, because not having a memory of even the worst sensations is responsible for us as sojourners. We need everything that's happened to us. Everything that's happened to us doesn't belong to us, but we at least need to archive what we learned. Remembering really is creating a dictionary with well-detailed definitions of everything that has encountered you along your soulful journey. We have to discern everything and anything that has us doing the opposite of that has us overlooking or not making time for memory.